Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. I greet you in the words of a BB448. Um, Today is what is today's date? October 14th, Friday, October 14th, 2022. And I just simply entitled this one Charleston White Supporters. And I want to be real when I speak on this situation. We have a way of talking about society, right? We have a way of talking about society and how society is failing. Because I think most of us, because we've been so individualized, right? That when we think of something, we don't think of ourselves as individuals to the collectives that make up society, right? That makes sense what I'm saying? It takes a group of individuals to make up a collective for this society, right? So we always talking about society and society's children. And who are society's children? Ours. I'm talking to black folks, African folks. Society's children is our children, right? So we always want to squarely place the blame. And if you've looked at any of my content, you see I'm not a fan of Lil Boosie. No, I'm not a fan of their personalities. I put it like that. They got some songs I like. I'm from the A, so our city was kind of bred off of T.I. So they have songs that I have enjoyed. And some are still in my playlist, just to keep it real. Like, because I think we sit up here and we try to isolate and make it seem like we're so better and we're so different. But I've never agreed with a lot of their antics. I've never agreed with a lot of their views on women. I've never agreed with a lot of their views on manhood. I've never agreed with the way T.I. teaches his children classism, which is part of Lil King's problem, is when he was talking to this Waffle House employee and T.I. comes and talks to him and calls him a short order cook, right? So, okay, I think we're looking at this thing from isolated lens that we have to look at. So, how I want to say this point. It's one thing to be against an adult, but it's a whole nother thing to antagonize children, right? Because we say they're 18, so they're adults, right? And we as black people, we aren't afforded those same luxuries. See, this is how they criminalize your race. They want you to look at your 17-year-olds, your 18-year-olds as adults, because by American standards, we say, well, when they turn 18, let me adjust my mic. Well, when they turn 18, they got to get out, right? Because we're an American mindset. And so if you don't rear your children, not raise, there's a difference. If you don't rear your children in an appropriate manner, it's going to reflect that society. So when you teach your children classes, they're kind of going to come out like that. When we have a whole group of people and black people that was raised on genocidal music, you get genocidal behavior. Genocidal input gets genocidal output. And the thing is to antagonize children, knowing you're going to get a response because he's dumb. Charleston White is, he's smart, but he's stupid. So you antagonize these children, right? These young boys, young men, young boys. So they respond. So when you respond, you give them the fire. And for him to use a young man like Trayvon Martin's name in such a distasteful, disrespectful manner is disgusting. Which brings me to these supporters that we say society. We say, well, he's doing what everybody else need to be doing, right? So this guy literally has come out in a video and admitted to raping a woman, right? Dig this now. And this goes to my White Lives Matter video that I did on Kanye, because I'm not defending no celebrity. I don't defend them because I know what side of the board they're on. See, when you're clearing your understanding, you don't have to be reactive, right? So he comes out and says, yeah, I was licking on her, blah, 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 and she told me no, and I took it. Right? Right? And then also, when he's referring to Lil Boosie, now dig the self-hate that y'all are following and stamping society, right? Because we make up society. When he goes on saying he agree with Kanye, he says Kanye have children that look like White Lives Matter. They're mixed with pretty hair, all these things. He says Boosie's children are ugly. They look like Black Lives Matter. And this is y'all champion, right? So you attack, he says, Boosie look like patent leather because, again, you're insulting a person's dark skin. So and then in another distasteful video, he disrespects George Floyd. So the point with his supporters is that he knows he can do this, because this is why society, this is why Black culture is the way it is. Because no matter how a person, they can tell you they'll rape your women. They can tell you they'll kill children. They can tell you that Black skin and Black Lives Matter children are ugly, or compare them to Black Lives Matter, right? And you agree with it. Because nobody studies. So we just take information, and because we've been taught that we do it to ourselves. Shout out to Joy DeGruy and her book. Go check out Joy DeGru's post-traumatic slave disorder book, or her lectures. And she does an excellent point where she talks about how they have manipulated our minds to say we did it to ourselves. Now, it's been ingrained in us to where they don't have to do their job anymore, because it's been programmed in our people to do it for them. Right? So I'm a person that really has done a lot in my community. So I'm not a person that's just talking, right? I get the frustration when you're trying to work and people don't, but I also know the program. So there's either we're trying to save our people from the race soldiers, or we're gonna feed them to them. So what I don't support is the antagonizing people and insulting. When you insult a man's children, when you insult a man's dead family member, when you insult a person's family, just in this Eurocentric fashion, we're supposed to just take it. And y'all keep saying the dumbest things. Well, y'all need to leave him alone. He's antagonizing and starting with people, and then calls the police. And y'all say this is smart. But you know, it's like you say, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, because for everybody that's really supporting him or agreeing with the vast majority, because he's very tricky, right? So he says some things that make sense. He's mastered saying the obvious. He's mastered diagnosing the problem or complaining about the problem. And the fact that we don't even see it as a problem lets us know why society and black culture is the way it is. We don't love each other. Because if we were a race of people that loved each other, we wouldn't put up with this kind of talk. We deal with people telling us not to love women, not to love men, not to love our own, date outside our race, go anywhere but what looks like you, and wonder why we deal with the problems we deal with. But it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it gotta get better. I'm not gonna say we, because I'm not supporting this fuckery. This is juvenile behavior. What happened to grown men and grown adults not arguing with children? He's twice them young boys' age. You think you think he would make fun of any Jewish person or anybody in that fashion? And it wouldn't be no consequence, because ain't no telling what'll come out his mouth. But it's a known fact that you can say and do anything in the black culture, in the black community, and nothing will get said or done. If anything, it will be applauses. We applaud degeneracy and then complain about it. So I just wanted to share my sense on that, because this is just goofy, this is ridiculous, and this is bothersome. So I leave you how I greeted you. A BB-48, African liberation for African people. Peace.